Hi everyone, today I'll be discussing about Chapter 6 SPM, Bab 6 SPM, Ratio and Graph of Trigonometric Function. Okay, for trigonometric function, as you all know, we have quadrant. Your Cartesian plane is divided into 4 quadrants. Okay, you all can see a Cartesian plane here. So kalau kamu tengok, there are 4 quadrants here. How do you know it's 4 quadrant? First one, your first quadrant is between 0 to 90, antara 0 hingga 90. Your second quadrant is between 90 to 180. Third one is between 180 to 270, and the final one is between 270 to 360. Okay, so you all know one circle total sum is 360, and each quadrant gives you 90, 90. One straight line 180, 270 and 360. So 4 quadrant 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, next you need to know your sine, cos and tangent. Where is it positive and which quadrant is it positive? How is it located as? Okay, so now first one, you need to know your corresponding angle atau sudut sepadan kamu is always less than 90. Okay, your corresponding angle, which is this, will always be less than 90. How do you find your corresponding angle? Okay, for first quadrant, since your first quadrant is between 0 to 90, your theta is between 0 to 90. So your quadrant will be, your angle will be less than 90. Your 90 is here. So it must be less than 90. Can fall anywhere but below 90. Okay, how about quadrant 2? It's more than between 90 to 180. So it will fall in quadrant 2. Same goes for quadrant 3 and 4. Okay, next one. Okay, next one we are going to determine, kami akan tentukan di mana sukuan atau kuadran mana kamu punya sine, cos and tangent is positive. Okay, so there's a formula there actually. Quadrant sukuan 1, 2, 3 dan 4. So remember, in first quadrant, all is positive. Semua ialah positif. Okay, semua tu referring to sine, cos and tangent. Sine, cos and tangent all will be positive. Apa maksud sine, cos, tangent is positive? Okay, first quadrant, your angle is between, your theta is between 0 to 90. Correct? Sudut kamu ialah antara 0 hingga 90. So example, I choose sine 30, cos 30, tangent 30. Okay, 30 is between 0 to 90, right? So bila kamu tekan calculator, all these answers you will get positive. So remember, between 0 to 90, sine, cos and tangent values are positive. Dia ialah positive. You can check in your calculator. Okay, for quadrant 2, untuk sukuan kedua, hanya sine sahaja positif. Only sine is positive. Apa maksud sine is positive? Your quadrant 2 is between 90 to 180. Okay, so in this quadrant, if sine fall between 90 to 180, example, teacher ambil 120 in between of both, your answer will be positive. But cos and tangent, cos 120 and tangent 120, your answer will be negative. Okay, so you all can just press your calculator to double check. Sin 120, sin 120, you get a positive answer 0.866. But if it's cos 120, you will get negative 0.5. Tangent 120, you will get negative 1.73. Okay, for quadrant 3, untuk quadrant ketiga, only tangent is positive between 180 to 270, and for the final one, only cos is positive. So remember, when you start, all, okay, you can consider as quadrant 1 all are positive, quadrant 2 only sine is positive, quadrant 3 tangent is positive, quadrant 4 cos is positive. So we can summarize as All science teacher crazy. All referring to first quadrant. Science, sine is referring to sine. Teacher is referring to tangent. And your cute is referring to cos. So all sine teacher cute. So second quadrant sine is positive. Third quadrant only tangent is positive. Fourth quadrant only cos is positive. Okay, so this is what you need to know. Your Cartesian plane divided into 4 quadrants, and your angles fall in which quadrant, and which trigo function is positive in which quadrant. Okay, next you need to know is, in a triangle, how do you identify your sides? And after you identify your sides, how do you check on your sine, cos and tangent? What are the formulas of sine, cos and tangent? Okay, so if you see in a right angle triangle, in your right angle triangle, okay, if you see in your right angle triangle, you have here is 3 sides here: adjacent, hypotenuse and opposite. Okay, sisi bersebelahan, hypotenuse, and sisi bertentangan. How do you identify? This is the angle given to you. This is the angle given to you. Remember, the longest one, yang paling panjang, is hypotenuse, followed by, this is your angle. Opposite of your angle will be opposite side. Beside it will be adjacent atau sisi bersebelahan. So remember, your right angle have 3 sides. The longest one and opposite to 90 is your hypotenuse, followed by opposite side and your adjacent side. Okay, so after you identify your sides, what you need to know is your trigonometric ratio. Okay, for your trigonometric ratio, this is a fixed formula yang kamu perlu hafal, whereby sin theta, your sin theta is equals to opposite side over hypotenuse, sisi bertentangan over hypotenuse. So example, a right angle here. If here is 3 given to you 4 and 5. Okay, so right now, and I place my theta here. So, and I ask you, how do you find your sin theta? Okay, your formula given for sin theta is opposite bertentangan over hypotenuse. Okay, so this is your formula. So for opposite here, opposite bertentangan. So check back, your angle is here, right? Mana sudut bertentangan kamu? Your opposite is here. So your opposite is 4. Hypotenuse. What's your hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is opposite of 90 and the longest side, which is 5. So your sin theta is equals to 4 over 5. That's the answer for sine. Okay, how about cos? Your cos theta is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. So here your cos theta will be, in this question, your cos theta will be adjacent. Which one is your adjacent? Bersebelahan. Your bersebelahan is 3. And your hypotenuse is the longest one, which is 5. So your cos theta is 3 over 5. And final one for your tangent. Your tangent theta is equivalent to adjacent, opposite over adjacent. Okay, opposite over adjacent. So tangent theta is equals to, your opposite here is still 4 and your adjacent here is bersebelahan is 3. So this is the answer for tangent theta. Easier way to memorize, sin theta is opposite over hypotenuse. So you can name it as so. So means S stand for sine, O is opposite, H is hypotenuse. So sin theta equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is cha. C stands for cos. Cos equals to adjacent, A, over hypotenuse, H, cha. And your tangent here is represented by toa. So cha toa. Toa stands for T for tangent, O is opposite, and A is adjacent. So easier way for you to memorize. So cha toa. So cha tua. Okay, this is a simpler formula for you all to memorize your so cha tua. Okay, so for this part here, let's try some questions. Our first question here. Okay, diagram shows a combination of two right angle triangle PQR and QSR given the length of PQ and RS. Okay, PQ is given by 15 cm. Let's label here first. PQ is 15, PR is 17. Okay, first question they ask you, and S sin SQR is 4/9. SQR, so sin theta here. Okay, this formula sin theta, your formula for sin theta is O/H, and here is given 4/9. So 4 is referring to opposite, bertentangan. H ialah hypotenuse. Okay, so here your opposite will be 4 and your hypotenuse will be 9. Okay, based on the smaller triangle. First question they ask you, find tangent QPR. Where is QPR? QPR will be here. Okay, see the center part which is P. Your angle will fall at P. Okay, so the formula for tangent is tangent theta equals to, your formula for tangent is TOA. So O opposite over adjacent. So what's your opposite here? Your opposite is here, this one. Okay, so you don't know what's your opposite. So you don't know what's your QR. QR is your opposite over your adjacent. Your adjacent here is 15. So macam mana nak cari kamu punya opposite? Okay, to find your side here, you're going to use Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem applies only for right angle triangle. A kuasa 2 tambah B kuasa 2 sama dengan C kuasa 2. Okay, whereby your C is for hypotenuse. Hypotenuse kamu 17 power 2. A we can write it as 15. Your B square is referring to your QR. Kamu nak cari QR first. Okay, so your QR 17 square minus 15 square, square root answer. So your QR is equals to 8. So you substitute here, QR is 8. So your answer is tangent theta is equals to 8/15.